everyone. I'm so excited to welcome Peter Crichton, and he is the author of Leading with My Glass Half Full. Peter, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yes, and thank you for having me on. I appreciate it very much. My book is called Leading with My Glass Half Full, which really is a reflection of my optimism and the optimistic attitude that I brought to my career in local government for over 30 years. I probably would be a millionaire just based on the number of times that I said my glass is half full while I was working in meetings and conversations with fellow employees, with citizens, with other people. That is my view of the world. That's how I look at things. I am an optimist.
I love this so much, and I think being optimistic is so important, and it can really just improve every aspect of your life. Peter, what was your inspiration for writing the book?
Well, that's a good question. I actually was in New Orleans. I had taken my older daughter down to New Orleans for medical treatments and had taken a family medical leave. And while I was there, we stayed at the Ronald McDonald House. Not a very ritzy place to stay at. It was a very challenging time for us, for my wife and myself. And while I was there, I had a lot of time in between the appointments for my daughter. And something had happened before we took the trip. The University of Maine at Orono's public administration program, both for undergraduate and graduate students, had been eliminated by the legislature. It was the oldest public administration program in the country. And I had been one of several managers who had really tried to fight that change and had gone to the chancellor, had gone to the trustees, had gone to the legislature, talked to the governor about not doing that, and still the cut was made. And that left a huge impression on me. And when I was in New Orleans, I was thinking, what can I do with my time? And I thought, well, one of the things I could do is write a book. At first, I thought I'd write two books, one on that experience and being in New Orleans and the other on leadership. And I quickly found out that I needed to make a choice. So I chose leadership, and really in the back of my mind was the issue that had happened with the public administration program, because I believe that having that training is really important for someone to go into a local government position, or state government for that matter, or federal government, to be able to manage and to supervise people. You don't necessarily have to have that qualification in order to do a good job or even a great job, but I think it's really a good prerequisite. So that was really kind of the philosophy that I had when I started writing the book. I wanted to do something that would be helpful for students and for practitioners, people in local government, and also people who are interested in public service. And I think the book also is applicable to the nonprofit sector and private sector for people who are interested in leadership.
I love this so much. I'm so glad that you wrote this book. Like you said, I think that this book could really help a lot of people out there who are interested in being leaders or who are already in a leadership position. What is there anything else you can tell us about the book or about yourself or the message behind the book?
Sure. I think it's important for people to understand that a big part of my reason for getting into local government is my dad took me to my first town meeting when I was 8 years old. Can you imagine that? In the small town of Mars Hill in northern Maine. And there were several town meetings that he took me to over the years, and that made an impression on me. And my dad also was a huge fan of John F. Kennedy at the time, and he became a hero of mine. And public service really was an interest of mine from a very young age. So I was very attracted to it. I was an intern for Senator Muskie in Washington, D.C. when I got out of college. And of course, that only reinforced that interest. And things just developed, and I went to graduate school and received my master's in public administration. And the book is about leadership lessons that I've learned and observed during my career. There are 13 of them. I'm not superstitious. 13 important, I think, leadership lessons. One is you have to believe in yourself. I think that's really critical. Another is initiate the change you seek. I think that anyone who's in a leadership position has to be able to do that. And then also, I think it's important to be a molder of consensus, because I have found that the best way to be able to accomplish something with a group of people is to try and work together to try and find that consensus, find the things that people can agree on. And when I've done that, I've found that I've been most successful. And the other leadership lessons have to do with things like teamwork and the importance of a team and having a great team around you. And I was very, I think, gifted with the people that were around me. That was a huge part of my success. No one individual can have all the answers, make all of the decisions, do all of the heavy lifting. In many cases, it was other people who were doing the lifting, and I was supporting them and encouraging them. And the book will outline that. And I write about managers and other people that I worked with and people that made an impression on me who exhibited great leadership skills and abilities. So it's not just about me, myself, it's about people that I encountered and worked with, and people who really are great leaders in their own right. And I think people will find that reading the book, they'll see a lot of lessons that they can apply to what they're doing. Practitioners, people that are in leadership positions, people that aspire to leadership positions. One of the lessons that I write about is be a Roman general. And one of my colleagues said, "What is that about, Peter?" Well, I was the county manager for Cumberland County government in Maine. And county government in Maine and New England is not as strong as it is elsewhere in the country. And it's really second to municipal government. And one of the municipal managers, when I was a county manager, after having been in municipal government, said to me, "Peter, you're like a Roman general. You're trying to conquer everything. You're trying to take over the whole territory." And I know he meant that as an insult. I didn't see it that way. I took it actually as a compliment. I wasn't trying to do that in the way that he conveyed it. I was trying to work with people to show people that county government could help reduce costs, help deliver services in a better way, more effective services. And I did it on a voluntary basis. I didn't have the authority, nor did my elected officials, to be able to just change things or implement things. We had to work with the municipal officials, the town managers, city managers, and other people to be able to make changes. So I never felt I was a Roman general. In my book, I say, if I'm a general, I'll pick George Washington, because he was a hell of a general and he knew how to work with people. It's lessons like that that I write about that I think will help people in the work that they're doing, and at least help them think about how they're doing the jobs that they're doing and navigating through the different situations that they face.
Well, Peter, I think the lessons that you've just talked about here today are so important for leadership. And I think that people need to read your book to learn about the rest of the lessons that you talk about. I think that you're the perfect person to write this book with your background. So that's great. And for anybody who's interested in picking up a copy, again, it's Peter Crichton, and the title is Leading with My Glass Half Full. You can get it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Apple Books, to name a few. Thank you so much for being with us today, Peter.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate this very much.